Hey guys, welcome to our very last Pretty Little Liars chat. I'm Francois T. I'm so happy to be here. And before we go any further, happy 4th of July to all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful Independence Day. All of my American friends, big hugs to you. I have my red, my white, and my blue today for all of you. Let's celebrate Independence Day in the best way we know how, by saying goodbye to Pretty Little Liars. Someone did send me in another alternate ending, which is wonderful, so I will definitely be reading that for you guys today, and I'll also be reading my conclusion to my alternate ending as well, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But if you are in the room, say hi, and I will definitely give you guys a shout out on this very special 4th of July day. Can you guys see me? Oh, looks like I'm coming up now. Took a little while. There we go. Looks like I'm up now. Okay, so let's see who's in the room. Did I only just come up, guys? Oh, wow. It looks like I only just came up, guys. So I'll say all of that again. Hey guys, welcome to our live Pretty Little Liars chat, our final Pretty Little Liars chat. That we're doing for the foreseeable future. Who knows, we may do a throwback one, but for now, this will definitely be the last one. A big shout out to all of you in the US. Happy 4th of July. I am decked out today in my red, white, and blue. So for you guys, let's have a really good Independence Day. Say hi if you're in the room, and I will definitely give you guys a shout out. So let's see who's in the room. Okay, Alias is here. Hi, Alias. President A is here. President A says, hi all, I'm starting to go through PLL withdrawals. Can you believe it? I need a fix. Anyone recommend their favorite episodes? Alias recommended 225. And hi, President A. President A says that Mona's A reveal, and Alias says yes. I recommended 302 because that is the Bitch Can See episode. Let's see who else is here. Tori is here. She says, hey Tori, thank you so much for being here. She says, happy Independence Day to anyone from the States. Absolutely. Happy Independence Day to you all. I hope you're all decked out in your red, white, and blue today, like I am. I was looking for a red jacket and I couldn't find one, so this head thing will have to do for today. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, I tried. President A says, thanks, I love that episode. Oh, that's awesome. Megan Rose is here. She says, hi, so glad to be here. We'll be listening from work. No problems at all, Megan Rose. Thank you so much for being here. Start From Looks says, I don't want this to end. I know, Start From Looks, neither do I, but we had to move on at some point. But after tonight, comment below and let me know. We'll still be going ahead. I have a rough schedule and I'll give you guys that in just a moment. Dario is here. Hey, Dario. Lots of love to you. And Dario says, hey, my mother says hi. She loves you. Oh, hi, Dario's mum. Big hi and hello and big hugs to you. Thank you for being here, Dario. Pure One says, hey guys, hey Pure One, thank you for being here. Start From Looks says, hey hiya, Start From Looks. MC is here, hi MC. Tori says, thank you, Francois. You're very welcome, Tori. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but you're very welcome. MC says, happy 4th of July to all our American family. Absolutely. And MC says, the Halloween and Christmas episodes are great. Yes, they were. And Tori says, thank you, MC. So yes, it is wonderful to be here on the 4th of July in our red, white, and blue, celebrating Independence Day. I know I'm in Australia, but as you guys know, I feel like I personally bleed red, white, and blue, though I live in Australia. So I felt like I'm celebrating it with you guys, which is really nice for me. Dario says, so sad but happy at the same time for the last PLLXS. Oh, 2 kisses back to you, Dario. Look, I'm sad too that it's our last PLL chat. We might do some throwbacks, but I mean, as I say, the family's not going anywhere. We're definitely going to be doing other stuff. So let me talk to you about how the rest of this week is going to play out. Tomorrow night, same time, 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I am going to be doing a live reaction video to the latest episode of Shadowhunters. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. If you'd like to come along and watch my reaction or watch it with me or whatever, that is totally fine, and I look forward to that. On Thursday, we are going to be doing a Charmed live chat. It's about time. I've been talking about this Charmed live chat for a very long time, and I can't wait to do it. Talking about Phoebe and Piper and Paige and Prue and everyone else that came along, like Leo and all the others, Natalie, the White Lighter. So many things we can talk about in that one, and that will be on Thursday. I'm wondering if on Friday we're going to do the LGBTIQ chat. Right now I have no qualms with doing that on Friday, so if you guys would like to do it on Friday, I can certainly try and find a way to fit it in, but I want to keep our chats at the same time so that everyone knows when to come along. You can come along to one or all of them. That's totally fine, whatever ones you would like to. But I definitely want to keep it at the same time, as I said, because we all seem to flock together at the same time. So I'll leave them all for 11 p.m. on those days that I have said. Where are we? Okay, Gabriella's here. She says, hi, hola, Gabriella, thank you for being here. MC says, I passed my driving test on the 4th of July, and the examiner said, well, even though we are in Wales, today will always be your Independence Day. You passed. Oh, I love your driving instructor. That is awesome. Congrats, by the way. Alias, both your messages have been retracted. You may want to try again. Kim Yim is here. Hey, Kim. She says, so happy I made it again. I'm so happy you made it too. By the way, guys, don't forget to send in your pictures for the collage. We're still going to be doing that throughout our time, even though Pretty Little Liars will be over. We're still doing that. President A says, does anyone have any memorable experiences with PLL cast members? I wish I did, but I've never met any of them, unfortunately, and I've never even had a conversation with them. The closest I've got is getting a shout out on the PLL after show. So there you go. Denise says, hey guys, good morning, good night to some, lol. It's good to be here for one last therapy session before Radley closes. Exactly, we have to close Radley down and turn it into a fabulous hotel run by Ashley Marin. Tori says, yay, Charm Chat. Yeah, totally. So I can't wait to do the Charm Chat. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's on Thursday. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Daria says, Charmed, love. Yes, absolutely. Lots of love for Charmed. Hope you guys can make it. MC says, looking forward to the Fosters chat, the Charm Chat, the LGBTIQ chat, and everything else you do. Oh, thank you, MC. Well, if that's the case, then you'll be with us for the rest of the week, which will be wonderful. Wendy says, hi, everyone. Hi, Francois. Hi, Wendy. Thank you for being here. Susan Frere says, good morning, everyone. She has a coffee cup there. Absolutely. Drink away with your coffee. I have my vanilla Coke. You guys wouldn't expect any less. One day I'm going to do a quiz and say, what drink does Francois T drink on live chats? And you guys will know. Kim Yim says, so I watched the chat last night, as I have watched all live chats. I love your story so far. Just one question. Does the T stand for Francois T's? Looking forward to the rest. Yes, absolutely it does. No, the T in my name stands for my surname, which is Thurston, Francois Thurston. And I don't know why I started doing it, but yeah, just one day I decided to shorten it to the first letter and call myself Francois T. I've been doing it for a while, like before I did comment below, let me know. If you look at some of my very old Your Opinion videos on Facebook and on here, I'm always saying, hi guys, Francois T here. So that's just how it's been for a very long time. Susan Frere says, what kind of pic should we send you? Any sort of picture at all, Susan Frere, is totally fine. Whatever you want, put in the collage. What I'm trying to do is do a collage that represents our comment below and let me know family. And I will put my email in once again so that you guys can get it. There you go. So send your pictures to my email address and we'll get that collage done. Tori says, I have a picture with Lucy Hale to look at when I get sad. Oh, that's so sweet, Tori. I love that. Start from Look says, does anyone still wonder about Aria being in Radley? Well, she was in my alternate ending, as you guys know. Yeah, I definitely still wonder it, but I definitely feel like she was in Radley. MC says, that's awesome, Tori. Isn't it? That is so cool that you have a picture of Lucy Hale, Tori. That's awesome. Carly says, hi all. Hi, Carly. Thank you for being here. MC says, I think you are keeping Vanilla Coke in business. Well, I hope so, because it's, it's my favorite soft drink. So I hope they stay in business. Schweppes. I don't know if you guys have Schweppes, but we have a brand over here, a soda brand called Schweppes, and they brought out this brand called Fairy Floss, and I was so excited to try it because I love Fairy Floss, and oh my god, it was terrible. So I had one sip and basically gave it away to someone else and said, here, you can have it. Vanilla Coke has never stirred me wrong, so MC says, hi Carly. Denise says, couldn't make it yesterday to the live chat, but I watched the video last night and oh my god, I love your story. Thanks to those who kept on saying more, you are all the real MVPs. Yes, I totally agree, Denise, and I can't wait to read the rest to you. I finally finished it today because I knew I had to get it done before today's chat, and I'm very satisfied with how it ended up. President A says, for anyone who's interested, I've met Troyan, Sasha, Tammin before PLL and got a birthday wish from Janelle via a tweet. Yeah, you told me about the birthday wish. That's awesome. I don't know if I remember that you met Sasha, but I do remember you met Troyan and Tammin. That's awesome. Yeah, so I met Tammin before she left for the US at Virgin Records. She was releasing a single at the time. And it was such an honor to meet her. I asked her if I could give her a hug, which I do with a lot of celebrities, I must say. And she was more than happy. She was sitting down at a table signing autographs. She actually got up, came around the table and gave me a hug. That's the sort of person that Tammin Sursok is. Angels is here. Hey, Angels. Angel says, hello all. Tori says, can you recap what you've read so far in your story before you continue? I will certainly try. MC says, wow, President A, show off, lol, just joking. JK in this thing. No, we're very happy for you, President A. Carly says, I would love to meet Troy and she's so amazing. Yeah, so would I. I would love to meet her as well. Yeah, so what I will do is I'm going to read the first alternate ending for you guys, then we'll come back, have a bit of a chat, and then we'll read mine to close out the day. But let's get onto it. So the alternate ending that I had sent to me today comes from Alias. Yay, thank you, Alias, for sending it in. I know you've been saying for a few chats now that you were working on it and you were going to get it to me, and you got it to me on time. So thank you so much for that. So this is Alias's way it should have ended. Thank you guys for coming, said Alison. Of course, Ellie. I know you two would come to our wedding party, says Aria. Where's Toby? Asked Emily. He said he had stuff to do, says Spencer. Well, speak of the devil, Toby wants me to come to his cabin. Why? Asked Caleb. He said it's important. Bye, Spencer, everyone says. Spencer walks up to the cabin and knocks. No one answers the door. Spencer then decides to look in the windows. She can't see anyone inside, but she does see something in the window reflection. Her heart drops as she sees a hooded figure run at her from behind. The figure grabs a hold of her arms. She sees something in the figure's hand before she has enough time to think about what the object is. However, she feels a slight pinch in her arm. She wakes up inside the cabin. She recognizes the cabin as Toby's. Her heart drops as she sees Toby with one leg chained up, with blood on his head. Toby, Spencer yells out while running at him, but suddenly she trips, nearly falling headfirst on the wooden floor. Spencer then realizes that she's chained up just like Toby. Spencer, are you okay? Asks Toby. Toby, she says with a sigh of relief, I thought you were dead. Who did this to you? Was it AD? Spencer asked. If Mona is AD, then yes, it was AD. Wait, Mona? Spencer says furiously. Yeah, I saw a hooded figure injected with something, just like they did to you. I saw it was Mona, said Toby. But Mona killed Charlotte, and AD wants to find out who killed Charlotte to get revenge. AD never said that, says a manly voice. Spencer knew the voice, but before she had time to say it, he walked in the room. Lucas, Toby says. Hey, Toby, and how are you, Spencer? Still doped up from when I injected you, what I injected you with? Don't worry, it was just to knock you out. It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who tortured us. You are AD, aren't you? You became AD because you and Charles were friends. You wanted to get revenge for Charlotte, Spencer says angrily. No, all I did was make the board game and some of AD's dirty work. Oh, and by the way, it felt really good to shoot you. Spencer then gets teary eyes and said, you shot me? You asshole. Why would you do this? Be AD's accomplice? Spencer asks, trying to get over the fact that she found out who shot her. I did this because Alison tortured me in high school and you bitches didn't do anything to stop her, says Lucas. Lucas then said, speaking of Alison, how are her kids? I can't wait to see the little creation I made. Spencer gasps. You impregnated her? Yep. You're so sick, Spencer cries. Who else is on AD's team? Spencer asks, crying. Just me and your mum. And another someone, but that's a surprise. What? Mary's on the AD team? Well, she was, when AD was just starting off the game. Your mum did a lot for the team. She even started sending texts with emojis. My mum was emoji? Yeah, she was. She left the game because she wanted to get revenge for Charlotte, but the rest of the team wanted to thank Charlotte's killer. What? Why do you guys hate Charlotte so much? Spencer asked, confused. Charlotte didn't only steal the game from Mona, but from us too. Wait, what is AD doing to my friends? How long have you two been engaged? Aria asked Caleb and Hanna. About 5 months. Caleb, Ezra says, are you okay? There's an envelope sliding through the door. What? Says Emily. Look through the peephole, says Ezra. There's no one there, says Alison. Emily grabs the envelope. Should we open it? Emily asks. Duh, open it, Hanna yells. Emily opens the envelope. Everyone in the room gasps. Come to Toby's cabin, all of you, AD. AD's back, Hanna yells furiously. It's probably just a prank, says Alison. We don't have time to argue, says Ezra. Let's go to the cabin. My friends will find out where I am, Spencer says confidently. Huh, Lucas chuckles. What's so funny? You thinking your friends will always save you? They will, Spencer gets interrupted. No, they won't. Why won't they? Never trust your friends, Spencer. You don't know what they're capable of, Lucas says. Shut up, you liar, Spencer is interrupted again. Did you know AD used to love Ali? What? Well, at least they used to until Ali blinded his sister. That pissed him off. Spencer's eyes widen as she feels a tear run down her cheek. Spencer watches as Toby grabs a key from his pocket and unlocks the chains from his foot. Her heart drops. He stands up. Lucas, I thought I told you I wanted everyone to find out at once. I know, Toby. I just thought I told you what to do and you disobeyed me. I'm sorry. Bang. Blood splatters everywhere. His body hits the floor with a thud. Spencer's heart drops even lower. Why? Why? She cries out in horror. Why would you do this? Because 1, the bitch Alison blinded my sister. 2, I was accused of her murder that I didn't commit, and she was still alive watching me suffer through the embarrassment. And why the hell did you torture the rest of us? Spencer asks furiously. Oh, that was for Lucas and Mona, Toby says. Mona? Spencer asks, confused. I found out she killed Charlotte long before you bitches did. I found out around the time Mary left the team. Spencer then feels hope, as she then sees headlights of a car. Those are my friends. You're screwed, asshole. Actually, no, that isn't your friends. Spencer hears someone open the cabin door. Oh, hey, Mona. Spencer's heart drops again. Hey, Toby, why did you shoot Lucas? He broke me out of that hellhole. He disobeyed me, Toby says. As Spencer is about to lose hope, she sees another set of headlights. Damn it, they're already here, Mona says. Damn it, we know what we have to do then. Load the gun. Aria, Hanna, Alison, Emily, Ezra, and Caleb barge into the cabin. Where's Spencer? Emily asks. Here, Ezra says. Everyone runs over to her. She's knocked out, Ezra says. Where's AD? Hanna says. Right here, as everyone hears the voice of Toby and Mona. Everyone gasps. You know, Alison, being a bully can have a long-lasting effect on someone, says Mona. You blinded my sister. You embarrassed me in front of the whole town. That felt worse than dying. It's time for you to feel that pain, Toby says, pulling out a gun. He pulls the trigger and shoots her in the heart. She gasps for air. Call an ambulance! But it's too late. R.I.P. Emily Fields. And that's the end of Alias's version. So that was pretty cool. Thank you, Alias. I'm so glad you sent that to me. I really enjoyed reading it. So let's see what everyone else has to say. Where are we up to? Whoa! Lots of comments flying in. Okay, so Sarah's here. Hey, Sarah. Sarah says, haven't been on in a few days, had some things going on. Hi, Francois. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. MC says, I never met any of the PLL cast, but Prince Charles told me off when I was little. Oh, my God. That's awesome, MC, that you have that memory. MC says, hi, Sarah. Tina says, hi, everyone. I missed the last chat. Oh, that's okay, Tina. You're here for this one. Sarah says, hi, MC. Denise says, hi, Sarah. Sarah says, hi, Denise. MC says, hi, Tina. Tina says, hi, MC. That's so good. Lots of love throughout the chat. President A says, all good, MC. They were all so nice to talk to, very respectful. Oh, good. Megan says, what was everyone's favourite subplot? That's a very good question. What do you guys think? What was your favourite subplot? For mine, it was Bitch Can Sing. Tina says, love all you guys. Yes, we love you too, Tina. MC says, that's so lovely, President A. I loved Ashley hiding the money in the lasagna boxes. Oh, that was awesome. Me too. Michelle says, hi, everyone. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for being here. MC says, hi, Michelle. Dario says, loving Spencer in this XXX. Absolutely. We loved Spencer in that. It was cool. President A says, I love the friendship between Hanna and Lucas from the first season. Yeah, same. Tori says, I like how everyone except Mary wanted Charlotte dead. Yeah, true. Dario says, Toby XX. Dario says, oh my God. Give me a moment. MC says, what? Denise says, Toby. Denise goes, my Spoby heart, and with a broken heart picture. Dario says, no, Emily. Dario says, I loved Emily. Tina says, wow, love this. Michelle says, good job, or great job. Alias says, thanks. That was really good, Alias. Well done. President A says, that was so good, Alias. Dario says, great job, Alias. Absolutely. And Maria Ann says, hey, everyone. Hey, Maria Ann. Thank you so much for being here. So we just read through Alias's alternate ending there, Maria Ann. And I'm about to get into mine. Thank you to everyone who sent me their alternate endings. They were all wonderful to read. As everyone is catching up with everyone, which is really cool. So I am going to read mine, but I will do some recapping because I know someone asked me to recap. So let's try and do that, shall we? It's a lot to recap, so let me just try and see what I can recap. So I replayed the moment where Spencer sees her twin in the finale, what actually happened. I replayed that. But instead of Mary coming in, Mona stops Spencer from talking to Alex. Let's see. Mona puts Spencer in the dark. Alison and Emily get taken away by Mary. And they try to find Spencer, but while they try to rescue Spencer, they get caught by Mona. Emily's put into a cell next to Spencer. Spencer tries to get Alison to help Emily, but then we find out that Alison was actually part of helping everyone all along. Alex goes to the bridal room like she did in the finale, and what we learn from there is the name of the one child that Emily and Alison have, because I didn't do twins, and the child's name was Maya. And what she says to Maya, that's Alex, is, you look like your daddy, wait till Emily and Alison find out you were never meant to be theirs. What else? So yeah, I just went through that. Aria is questioning whether she should marry Ezra. Lucas comes over and tells them that he's heard from Emily and he's going to drive them somewhere. He ends up driving them to the same place, and everyone ends up having their own cell in the same room. We have Mona introducing Alex to everyone, and Alex talks to everyone, tells them how she met them all. Obviously, she met Aria only in the dressing room, but she met Hanna in the same scene that they did in Pretty Little Liars. She met Emily back when we thought it was Spencer that said, you're having a baby, not a puppy, which is an actual scene if you go back and watch that. And yeah, let let's keep going. Jenna comes into the room acting like she's a victim, and but momentarily rescues them from their cells, only to have them trapped into another room. And this is where everything starts to be revealed. The first thing that is revealed is we go through some of the stuff that Cece was saying when we had her reveal with Alison. When Cece says, "Lord, help the mister who comes between me and my sister," a stamp comes on the screen, and when the stamp is lifted, it says liar. And also when she says, "For as long as I can remember, I asked my mum to buy me dresses," then another liar stamp is placed there. Jenna tells everyone that Cece lied about a lot of things, and that she joined Charlotte but only to save herself because Charlotte was very strong. Going through quite a few things here just quickly. She is upset that no one apologized to her, Jenna, that is, and Jenna is revealed to be AD. She's upset that no one apologized to her about their involvement in her being blind, but someone who did feel bad for her was Maya. Maya comes out. We have a big reveal that Maya is still alive, and what we find out is that Jenna actually tried to kill Maya the night that we all thought Maya died, but when Jenna explains why she's so upset about the girls not apologizing to her, Maya feels sorry for her and ends up joining Jenna, and she would be able to reveal herself provided Emily just apologized to Jenna, but Emily never did, so that's why Maya was never seen again. We then get a big reveal about Aria. So back in the day when Aria and Jenna are practicing for that recital thing, when Jenna's playing the flute and Aria's playing the keyboard, Jenna actually planned to call Aria there so she could be away from the other liars, so that she could tell the truth about something Jenna knew. But she'd never told anyone, and she didn't tell her at that time either. What Jenna reveals is that even though she was blind, her father wanted to take her to a trip to a place called Hanna. Hanna is located in Iceland. While Jenna was there, she saw a doctor and she was suddenly able to see. We get a flashback seeing Jenna talking to Ella, Mike, and Byron Montgomery. Byron ends up telling Jenna that Aria didn't come with them because she was sick. We then get another flashback of something that we never saw, where Jenna is waiting for her eye doctor and she runs into Eddie Lamb. Eddie Lamb ends up telling Jenna a story about a girl that's coming to Radley because she killed someone. And the girl ends up being Aria. What we find out after that is Jenna leaves the room with Maya, and Aria tells the girls exactly what happened. She killed someone who her dad was fooling around with, and obviously it wasn't Meredith, but who it was Bethany. So we had a big reveal of that as well. Aria also reveals that after that time in the pilot episode, I think it is, or one of the flashbacks, where Aria is walking down the street with Alison and Mona tries to call out to them, and Alison is saying, loser Mona, get a clue. Later on that night, Aria bumps into Mona and she starts building a secret friendship with Mona that no one else knew about. When Mona goes into Radley after being revealed as Aria goes and visits her and tells her the story about how she had gone to Radley and how she'd killed Bethany. And so we then get this reveal of when Mona says, "Miss Aria, you're a killer, not Ezra's wife," she's actually referring to when Aria killed Bethany. What else? So Jenna comes back with Maya. They're done with their little interval. And we find out that Jenna can see because she's thinking about what she's going to say next, and her glasses slip off. They start to fall, but she reaches out and catches them. So everyone finds out Jenna can see. She explains that she's been able to see from the first operation, but she has good days and bad days. Where are we? Jenna finds out thanks to Noel. She spends time with Noel and with Maya at his cabin a lot. She finds out thanks to Noel who Uber A was, Charlotte. And she explains that Charlotte had a lot of love for Noel. She paid him a lot of money to do things, which explains why Noel was in the dollhouse. He was always helping her out. And that's basically where we're up to. So I hope that explained a few things to you guys. I know that's a bit of a, yeah, a bit of a, whatever, a quick thing. But I'm going to get to that next part in a moment. I'm just going to see what everyone else has written because people have written quite a few things. Rena's here. She says, sorry, I'm late. Hi, everyone. I need another day or so for mine. Lol. No problems at all, Rena. Get it to me when you can, and I'll try and do a video with your one. Michelle says, I agree. It's sad. Yeah, it is sad, isn't it? Tina says, I'll miss these chats. Yeah, I'm going to miss doing them too, you guys, but we are going to do other chats on other things. Even if you don't watch the shows that I watch, I'm going to be doing my social anthropology chats and my charm chats and other things as well. So we'll definitely stay in contact. This is not the end of comment below and let me know. Maria Ann says, hey, Rena, I just got here too. Awesome. Tina says, no, that PLL is over. It feels like the end of... Now that PLL is over, it feels like the end of something, just like Ali said at the end. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Rena says, hey, Maria. Awesome. Says H is here. Hey, says, hi, I love your videos. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. President A says, I love this, Francois, so far. Thank you, President A. Tina Love says, all those great alternative endings, and it makes me even more sad. I can't believe Marlene gave us nothing in the end. We will all have better ideas of how the show should. We all have better ideas of how the show should end. That's for sure. So the cliffhanger I left you guys on last night was discussing what Charlotte's name is. Jenna was about to give a really big reveal. So I'm going to go back to that moment and then I'll continue on. But of course, as I did last night, I'll come back in intervals to you guys and we'll chat about what we've seen so far, what we've heard so far. So I'll go from Charlotte was infatuated with Noel, Jenna's saying. She told him the whole game she had planned out and he loved it. He was still broke up over Aria, if you can believe it, and so he was more than willing to play the game with her. He was also sure that you four killed Alison. Of course, I knew differently. I knew none of you would have the guts to kill your friend, but who was I to complain? Noel would venture back and forth to the dollhouse anytime Cece needed him. She paid him quite a bit of money too, but I don't know if that was for helping her out with Uber A stuff or for helping her out. Jenna trailed off, taking a sideways glance at Maya as both of them sniggered. But then I found out about all the lies, Jenna said. I mean, it was hard not to. Firstly, there was never any record of a transgender called Charles, Charlie, or anything by that name, let alone De Laurentiis. Secondly, there was never any record of a Charles in Radley. Maybe she hid the records, Aria said, not caring. Charlotte, hide something? Jenna laughed. Oh my God, you'd have to be an idiot not to find every crumb she'd left. No, Charlotte never hid anything at all. As a matter of fact, she only added stuff that wasn't true. Charlotte was never Charles, nor was she ever a Drake, and this is where we were up to. Let alone a De Laurentiis. Her real name is Simone Stornwall. Jenna had to stop at that point as she was overwhelmed with laughter. When she finally calmed down, she grabbed a Kleenex to wipe the tears that had spilled out from her belly-aching laughter. Simone was a terrible liar, but I didn't care. All I needed to know was why she was doing this to me. It was Mona who finally worked it all out. Mona? The girls all said in unison. Just then, Mona peeked her head out and smiled down at them. Yes, ladies, me, she said calmly. I had received intelligence that Simone had a really troubled life. She clicked her tongues a few times to show her lack of caring. But the biggest issue she had was wanting 4 precious people as her dolls. The problem with that, however, was that you guys had to create this whole stink at Noel Con's party. No one needed reminding of what had happened, but Jenna was happy to relive the story. They were at Noel Con's for his birthday, and someone had decided to play truth. Where did you meet your current boyfriend? Noel asked Aria. At a bar, she replied nonchalantly. Did you ever invite Maya St. Germain to any of these parties? Of course he had, but there was no way Noel was going to answer that one, especially with Jenna by his side. Geez, you're morbid, he said. This is a party, Aria. Ask me how many sexual partners I've had. How do you know about Maya? Aria asked. What you told us about Emily. You never mentioned that Noel was with you that night. What else did you lie about? Spencer asked Jenna. Jenna came back to reality and looked down directly at Spencer. If you recall, Charlotte, or shall I say Simone, looked up at me in the strangest way. Thanks, Spencer, Jenna spat. Immediately after the party, Jenna got in contact with me, Mona said. She said she was very suspicious of Simone, and had to keep an eye on her. Not that I needed much motivation. Provided I wasn't hurting Aria, I was happy to do whatever. Hey, bestie! Mona overdramatically waved down to her secret friend. This time, however, Aria only subtly smiled back. Had Spencer not asked me that question, Jenna said, everything would have been okay. But after that, you guys left. Do you remember how Cece didn't want to take you home? Yeah, that was so she could approach me. You made it sound like we were sleeping together. Well, Spencer replied, were you? No, Jenna replied. We kept up appearances, but I had my eyes on someone else. Jenna batted her eyes in Maya's direction, and Maya smiled back. In any case, Cece had a close eye on her for the rest of the night, Maya advised. She even came and spoke to me at one point. Thank God she had no idea who the hell I was. The point being, Jenna interrupted, when it finally came time to kill that bitch, who do you think Mona called? Wait, Aria said. So you were there too? Of course, Jenna said, beaming once again. Thanks for the cover-up, Mona. The truth of the situation was that I killed Simone, while Mona held her back. Oh, revenge is sweet. I always did find the nature of evil fascinating. Charlotte Drake, Simone Stornwall's death was a rebirth for the rest of us. Her time of being Uber A was for the most ridiculous reason. With her out the way and having someone on board who actually knew how to play the game. Someone's always stealing the game from me, Hanna whispered, making the connection at long last. What was that, Hanna? Jenna asked, while Mona gave a subtle smile to her former friend. I didn't think so. We could finally get our revenge on the people who had made our lives a living hell. Alison and her puppets. But playing the game metaphorically was not enough, and so that's when our final member came on board. From either side of her, Maya and Mona sniggered. Oh, Jenna said, joining in. Right, on board. Yeah, you're a real laugh riot, Spencer spat. This stopped the sniggering at once. Oh, Spencer, Jenna said. Not only could you never work out who AD was, you also never worked out who Emoji was. I mean, Jenna paused, but only to laugh. Emoji? God, you girls used to crack us up. So, who was it then? Spencer asked. Assuming you were AD, who was Emoji? The same person that created the board game that put you all through the most hell you've been in for the past 7 years, Mona replied. What? You? Spencer threw back at her. Me? Mona laughed. That's funny. Maybe you're the class clown, Spencer. Sorry, everyone always thought you were the smart one. Though, wait, that's not always true. Was it, Hanna? Hanna blushed a deep shade of red. It was true after all. No one had ever appreciated her for her intelligence. Everyone was always underestimating her and looking to Spencer for answers. Hanna? Emily questioned. You created the board game? No wonder you wanted Mona to be involved, Spencer agreed. Oh my God, Hanna retorted. Seriously? You thought I created that damn thing? Emily and Spencer looked at each other as though both silently agreed that it likely wasn't her. Aria, however, wasn't so sure. Well, you did go off and get Noel Connell on your own, she said in a voice just above a whisper. Yeah, 'cause you guys wouldn't listen, Hanna barked back. I knew he was behind all of this, and you guys were acting like I was crazy. Because you were, Spencer yelled, joining in. It was a dream, Hanna. But he was on the team, Hanna spat back. Hey, Emily jumped in. Speaking of which, how the hell did Noel escape, Hanna? You never told us. Hanna glared at her friends. How could they all be turning on her right now? Sure, she went behind their backs with Noel, but she was never involved with A, not ever. That's because she doesn't know, Mona said calmly from her chair in the dress circle. Everyone's heated argument seemed to be put on pause as they all turned their attention back to the others once more. Yes, we're still here, Mona went on, smiling down at them. Hanna never knew what happened because she left Noel with me. How she never worked out the rest, I'll never know. Wait, Hanna jumped in, glaring at Mona. It was you! A little slow, Mona replied. But I guess better late than never. Yes, it was me. Who the hell else was it going to be? Andrew Campbell? Mona told me what happened to Noel the moment she was alone, Jenna said. Naturally, I ordered her to untie him and get him to me as soon as she could. I, on the other hand, was busy having a board game created. All four girls' ears pricked up at the mention of the board game. Jenna was right. It was the most hell they'd been through in the past 7 years. Of course, I came up with all the ideas, Jenna began, before noticing a glaring look from Mona. Okay, yes, Mona came up with the letter and the knife idea, but my point is, none of us created it. But do you want to know who did? The look and smile she was giving off was almost like a game show host revealing a possible prize that could be won. All four girls nodded, fearing whoever would be next to show their face. After all, wasn't Jenna, Mona, and indeed an alive Maya enough? Hi, ladies, Lucas said, walking up to the final free chair in the row. Enjoy playing the game, did we? Spencer, thank you for starting. I was beginning to get a little worried there. As all four villains let out a laugh, the girls looked at each other. I'm so sorry, Han, Spencer said. Yeah, me too, Aria and Emily chorused. But Hanna was too busy looking up at the dress circle to care. Lucas, the man who was, for the majority of the time, her best male friend. Lucas created the board game. Don't look at me like that, Lucas said condescendingly. Or, more to the point, don't look at me like that. Yet. What's that supposed to mean, bitch? Hanna asked, feeling her heart shatter. She still couldn't believe her friend had created the board game. Yes, I was the one who created the board game, he went on. Oh yeah, and I was the one who tortured you too, you know, in the barn. Lucas held up a cow prod, and Hanna knew right away that it was the same one he had used to torture her. But I saved my best move till last, he said, laughing slightly. Jenna had Mona, which was awesome, and we all knew about Maya by now. But there was one person left who would hurt you more than any other. Lucas, why would you want to hurt us? Hanna asked. I was your friend. Please, Lucas replied. Hanna, you pitied me, but you were never truly my friend. Also, what kind of a friend whacks someone over the head with a boating oar? I saw your true colours that day, Miss Merrin. Don't lie to me. You asked me once if I was going to hate you forever. Remember my answer? Hanna couldn't deny the accusation. After all, he was right. She had whacked him over the head with an oar. Didn't you guys ever wonder why you and your husband had a rushed marriage? Ever wonder why you guys have argued constantly since the wedding? What about what he said right before you got married? Lucas asked. Hanna thought back to the precious moments leading up to the wedding while the others all looked at her, wondering what in the world Lucas could mean. If we're married, we can't testify against each other, Hanna replied. He said that? Emily asked, gaping. And you still married him? Spencer yelled out, bewildered. Yep, Lucas chuckled. She did. And little did she know, I am the one that gave Caleb the rings. I am the one who told him to marry her. I knew there would be some issues that went down, what with him handing Archer's credit card receipt to the cops and then putting sodium thiopental in Yvonne's drip. My orders, of course. Once again, the girls gasped. Not only had he created the board game, Lucas had organized for Caleb to get Spencer in trouble with the receipt of Archer's credit card and for killing Toby's wife Yvonne. Not to mention, he set up a charade wedding for Hanna and Caleb that Caleb knew about. You'd think he did it for the money, right? Lucas went on. I mean, he did always seem strapped for cash. But ladies, I never even gave him a dime. No, Hanna. Caleb did what he did out of love for me. Lucas looked down at the girls with a very satisfied snarl, and Aria, Emily, and Spencer glared at him in a way that was worse than AD, the board game, and Simone put together. I don't believe you, Hanna said. Why would he consummate our marriage if he didn't love me? Because, came the sound of the one voice she did not want to hear at that moment. We wanted a child. Time slowed down significantly for the blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman as her worst fears in that moment became a reality. Not only did Caleb step into view, but before everyone, he leant in and gave Lucas a deepened kiss. The world spun in front of her, and before she could take in anything else, Hanna fainted. And I'm going to come back to you guys, because we've had a few reveals there. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Rena says, yeah, Tina, I keep thinking she should have grabbed one of our theories, lol. Good one. Angel says, I'll join for the other chats, but just so you know, I might get intermittent explosions of anger once in a while due to the crap finale. That's totally fine, Angels, totally fine. Tina says, yes, she should. MC says, Maya and Jenna, I could ship that. There you go. Suze Blue says, it's with a broken heart. I'm just in to say hi, then I'll be having to leave. Oh, but good to have you here, Suze Blue. I know you'll watch it back. Rena says, I'm loving this CC twist. Oh, I'm glad. Simone Stronchen. Maria Ann says, oh, hi, Suze Blue. Love Forever says, oh, snap. Maya and Jenna, yep. All this time, the whole time, Mrs. Doubtfire. Quote. MC says, hi, Suze Blue. Rena says, hey, Suze Blue. Love Forever says, hi, bye, Suze Blue. Dario says, Mayana. Oh, that's so cool. Love. Yes, lots of love. Says, I like this a lot better than the shit we got. I'm glad, says. Love Forever says, no, leave Hanna alone. Maria says, no, my heart is breaking for Hanna. Michelle says, this twist is breaking my heart. Maria Ann says, oh my God, no. Love Forever says, no, poor Hanna. You're all feeling bad for Hanna. I'm sorry, guys. Maria Ann is crying. Denise says, Caleb, baby, you're killing me. Alias says, love it. President A says, holy crap, that's good. It's a twist, you guys. Like, you know, take it or leave it. But yeah, I didn't want to break your hearts. I just wanted to do something that was completely unexpected. So I do love Caleb, but I just wanted to do something unexpected. All right, I'm going to go back to it now. While the girls fussed over Hanna, Caleb took a seat and Lucas sat on his lap, beaming. Finally, he was on top of the world. It had been a long time coming, but finally, Jenna, Mona, and himself were where they should have been many years ago. And now, to boot, he had Caleb. Remember that day at the picnic table, Lucas asked, when we knew we could finally take over the game? Jenna nodded, smiling as she recalled the moment. She was walking with Sydney to a picnic table in the middle of nowhere. Mona was seated there waiting for them, just as they planned. They don't want things to go back to the way they were, Sydney said, looking over at Mona. They remembered how Alison treated them, like they were her dolls, Jenna agreed. Good, Mona replied, smiling evilly. Then maybe we can really get rid of her. Right on cue, the sound of a car pulling up could be heard, and Jenna and Sydney turned around, wondering who would be joining them. The car stopped, and both the driver and front door passenger door opened. Lucas? Sydney asked, surprised. What's he doing here? She snarled at Mona, shocked that she would let that Hanna-loving freak into their group. Please, Mona said. If there's anyone that wanted more revenge on Alison than us, it's him. Damn straight, Lucas replied, as he took a seat at the table, joined by, You must be Maya, Mona said, standing up to shake hands with her. I recognize you by the videos. And you must be Mona, Maya replied. So pleased to meet you. Okay, ladies, Lucas spoke up, bringing everyone's attention to him. So, what are we going to do about the I Hate Alison Club? All five smiled evilly, knowing that any moment, now, a plan would be concocted to get rid of that blonde bitch once and for all. Act 6. Coming out of the precious memory the four of them had, everyone, including Caleb, turned their attention to Jenna. Of course, we had to take care of Sydney in the end, Jenna recalled, just like we did Sarah Harvey. By now, Hanna had not only regained consciousness, but was watching the four up in the dress circle with anger flaring through her eyes. Wait, Emily said, stopping her. Who killed Sarah Harvey? I did, Jenna said simply. Of course, I had to throw Noel under the bus for it afterwards. It was the one good thing about his death, I suppose. I don't get it, Hanna replied, with, as Spencer had once suggested, all the subtlety of a hand grenade. Why would you kill Sarah? Wasn't she like your girlfriend or something? Jenna simply laughed. She wishes, Jenna said. And I used that to my advantage for as long as I could. But that day Emily came to my room, I heard exactly what she said. Jenna recalled the memory of that day, lying about being Charlotte's friend. But then again, what Emily didn't know wouldn't hurt her. Sarah had begun walking Emily out, but then a discussion had broken out between them in the hall. Do not come back here, Sarah advised. Is that a threat? Emily asked. I'm trying to keep you safe, Emily, Sarah replied. I want you to be safe. Really? Jenna thought. Well, you're certainly starting to show your true colours, Sarah. Please, don't come back, Sarah went on. Okay, look, I'm not afraid of Jenna, Emily admitted. I'm not talking about Jenna, Sarah replied. Oh, no, you don't, bitch, Jenna thought. After years of planning and being so close, you think you can just out the whole team? I'm talking about, Sarah went on. Sarah, Jenna yelled out, just in the nick of time. I need you now. Jenna came back to the present and looked at the liars. You almost had her reveal everything we've been working towards, Jenna said. Thank God her attraction to me kept her quiet. And so what? Spencer asked. Because of that, you killed her? Tayer se morea, Jenna said simply. The liars looked at Spencer for a translation, while the AD team looked at Jenna. To betray is to die, Spencer said quickly. That's right, Jenna said. After Emily left, Sarah and I had a quick chat, but she got out of there way too quickly, so I did what I needed to do. Jenna flashed back to the moment she made her way to Sarah's room at the Radley. There was no way she could live. Not now, not after nearly betraying everything. Unbeknown to Jenna, though she could have probably guessed it, Sarah had been packing, preparing to leave Rosewood at that very moment. Before Jenna even had a chance to knock on the door to Sarah's room opened to reveal Sarah in a black beanie holding her travel bag. Jenna? Sarah said, startled. Going somewhere? Jenna asked, referring to the bag. Yeah, Sarah began. Just thought I'd, you know, move up to your room to keep you safe, of course. Oh, but what if I were to move in here? Jenna asked. With you? Without waiting for a response, Jenna moved past Sarah and entered the room. Closing the door behind her, Sarah had no idea that this would be the last opportunity she actually had to leave the room. Sarah, 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 Jenna said 10 minutes later, looking deep into the now tied-up woman's eyes. Did you really think you could betray us and get away with it? Mona, Lucas, and Caleb, who were also in the room, glared down at their newest recruit. Thought you'd tell Emily everything, did you? Caleb asked. No, Lucas said. Thought widow Emily would come crawling into your widow arms, did you? Caleb smiled at the taunting his partner was laying out. Have I ever told you how adorable you are when you taunt like that? He asked, and without waiting for permission, gave Lucas a kiss. Ugh, gays, Jenna said, frustrated. Invite them to a murder, and all they care about is making out. I guess it's true what they say. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Jenna pulled out a gun from inside her boot and put it against Sarah's temple. No, Sarah said. Please, I never would have told Emily. Jenna, I love you. But those were the last words Sarah Harvey ever uttered as Jenna pulled the trigger. I never condoned liars before, Jenna said, glaring at the now dead shell of her former ally. Why would I start now? You actually killed her? Lucas asked, shocked that Jenna had gone through with it. Don't start getting all emotional on me now, Lucas, Jenna replied. Caleb, put her in the shower. Wasn't that what they always nicknamed her after all? Shower Harvey? With an evil smile fixed on her face, Caleb untied Sarah and took her into the bathroom, placing her into the tub. Turn the hot water on, Jenna instructed. Might as well die the way she lived in life. After Caleb had done that, he left the bathroom to clean up the small pool of blood on the carpet. Jenna, meanwhile, walked over to the bathtub and looked at her, smiling. I'd love to stay, Jenna said to the dead woman, but I can see you really have the need to take a shower. When Jenna was done retelling the story of Sarah's death, she looked down to see Emily in tears. Aw, she said, poor Emily. If only you'd learned to trust Sarah earlier, things might have turned out differently for you. I guess, in a way, her death is as much on your hands as it is mine. Of course, Lucas jumped in. We'd all be remiss if we didn't mention what happened the night of prom. What? Hanna said. You helped that Simone bitch too? No, Hanna, Jenna corrected. Caleb was helping me. I had to ensure I made an entrance at prom. Oh, sorry, not Caleb, Lucas. Lucas was helping me. I had to ensure I made an entrance at prom so that nobody would suspect anything. And we'd received intelligence through Noel that Alison was meeting up with Simone that night. So we came up with a plan to end her once and for all. I had all my minions in place. Caleb was to watch over you guys and make sure no one escaped. Mona was to get as much information as she could out of Simone. We tried to get Noel on board, but he was all about getting laid at prom. So, with his plans being to get that Bridget woo wasted as quickly as possible, let's just say he was unavailable. As for Lucas and myself, after making a quick appearance at prom with Lucas, immediately all four girls remembered the photo and the opinions they had. Wait, Hanna said, looking at her phone. Lucas took Jenna to prom? Seriously? No, Aria replied. They're just standing next to each other. Yeah, holding hands, Hanna said. She's tipping him, Spencer chimed in. She probably thinks he Ubered her there. All four shared a smile at the memory. It was one of the few good memories they had after all. Even Toby had shared a laugh. By the way, girls, Jenna carried on, nice touch with the Uber joke. All four looked at each other in shock. Don't be surprised, Mona chimed in. AD sees everything. And with AD working with A, Jenna agreed, and both working with emoji, Lucas agreed, we were unstoppable, Jenna concluded. So after we made our guest appearance and I gave Lucas the money for some drinks, we needed an alibi, ladies, not a random we'd never met to drive us, Lucas and I headed to Alison's house to dig up any dirt we could get on her. Jenna thought back to the moment happily. With Charlotte distracting Alison and Jason probably drugged up and all la-di-da, there was no way they would be caught. Mona had discovered that Kenneth was going to be working, and so the house was pretty much free. Don't turn on any lights, Jenna said before they walked in. The lights are already on, Lucas replied, looking in. Are you sure no one's home? Ugh, Jenna said. It's probably Jason getting munchies. Let's go in. Moments later, the pair had entered the house and began looking for whatever it was they could find on Alison. Jenna went to her room, while Lucas checked out the living area. Nothing, he muttered to himself, as that's exactly what he was getting up to that point. Ooh, hello. He'd stumbled across Kenneth's Glencullen Scotch. Don't mind if I do, he said, pouring himself a glass and taking a sip. Continuing to look around the room, Lucas was surprised to come across a photo with Jessica and two boys. Oh my God, Simone, he laughed. You are good, faking a set of twins. Lucas continued to chuckle while taking out a police evidence envelope and putting it inside. Thank God for their former connections. If all else failed, they could get Simone locked up immediately if they needed to. Just as Lucas was about to thumb through Kenneth's copy of the book that was on the table, he heard footsteps coming up the stairs that led to the entrance. Oh, crap, he whispered, and thinking quickly, bolted down to the basement. Hello? The sound of Mrs. Hastings' voice could be heard calling. Kenneth? Are you here? What the fuck do you want, bitch? Lucas whispered. Maybe he just stepped out, Miss Merrin replied. His car's still out there. Oh my God, Lucas thought. They're all here? Ken, Mrs. Hastings called out again, if you're up there, come down. It's Veronica. I have a question for you. Yeah, I have a question for you too, bitch, Lucas thought. Why aren't you protecting your daughters from Simone? Kenneth? Veronica called out again. I know you're here. I can see your scotch. Damn it, Lucas thought. Frickin' drunk mums. Isn't there a men's strip club bar you could all be at right now? But it was Mrs. Fields who said something even more pressing. What's wrong? Ella asked. That's from the police, Mrs. Fields said. It's an envelope they use for evidence. Lucas screamed internally. Seriously, these bitches need to be the next ones on AD's list. Watch out, girls. You're all going to be without mothers if I have anything to say about it. 10 minutes later, including an unannounced visit from some guy claiming to be from the Karasimi group and a quick chuckle over the mums believing there was something to this whole Charles thing, Lucas knew he had to find a way out. But how the hell could he get out? There was only one way, back up the stairs. Moving as stealthily as he could, Lucas crept back to the foot of the stairs when suddenly he tripped over some old, massive, empty water bottles. Are you freaking kidding me? Lucas thought. Leaving the bottles, he raced upstairs just as he heard Veronica's voice. That's where he is, she said defiantly. Lucas got out of the basement and darted for the closet, the closest room he could find, hoping, praying that the mums wouldn't find him. Fortunately, they seemed more focused on the basement, and once Lucas realized that, he stepped out of the room. He was just about to leave when he realized Jenna was still in the house. So he darted back to the basement entryway, and before he could think any further, he slammed and locked the door. Not wanting to wait around anymore, Lucas raced outside and ran down the street. Grabbing out his phone, he sent a text to Jenna. The mums are trapped in the basement. Get yourself out. Now. L. What? Jenna questioned after she read the text. The mums are trapped in the basement? But Simone's meant to be... For a fleeting moment, Jenna wondered if her sources had lied. Could Simone actually be here tonight? Had her minions set her up? Creeping down the stairs, Jenna called out softly. Hello? She said. But the only reply she got was some yelling from the basement. Did you see any access to the backyard? One of them asked. No, I couldn't see any access. I couldn't even see access to my right hand, another said. Not wanting to be caught, Jenna thought about what to do. She couldn't leave the mums down in the basement. That would be horrible. Besides, none of them had done anything to her. Jenna crept up to the door and listened in to see if she could hear anything else. How did they get through it? One of the mums asked. Our girls. They went through this and much worse. We had one job tonight, another said. One. To keep them safe. That had done the trick. Despite wanting revenge on the girls, and especially Alison, there was no way she could leave those loving mothers trapped down there. Unlocking the door, Jenna opened it slightly, hoping they'd see it eventually. But the door creaked. Oh my God, Jenna called out. Charles? Veronica asked. Charles, if that's you, I must warn you that I... But whatever the warning was, there was no way Jenna was going to stick around to see it. Racing to the front door, Jenna sped off down the path that led to the house and as far down the streets as her tired legs would take her. I'm just going to take a quick breath, guys, and have a drink and look at some of your comments. Whew. I haven't had a drink tonight. Okay, whoa, got a lot of comments. President A says, holy crap, that's good. Thank you. Love Forever says, I like it though. Good story. Thank you. Tina Love says, really good. Angel says, we need shocking twists like this in the shitty finale. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. Tina says, yes, that's the only way that this show would stay remembered for a long time. Yeah. Maria Ann says, even though I feel bad for Hannah, I give you credit for pushing the limits and giving us better twists that leave us hanging on every word and actually giving answers. Well done. Thank you. I really wanted to make sure I gave some answers. Michelle says, exactly. We needed a twist that we couldn't predict, but also connected everything together. These alternative endings do it. Yeah, they do, don't they, Michelle? Susan Frere says, well done. Thank you, Susan. Mrs. Exalia is here. She says, your ending is awesome, Francois. Thank you, Mrs. Exalia. Angel says, yes, they do. We are coming up with stuff 10,000 times better than Marlene and the other crap she gave us. True. Tina says, I think like the fame and the money killed Marlene's creativity so bad. Yeah, I agree. Says, yes, they should have. Can't believe I watched this show for the last 7 years. I will not be watching anything else that Marlene King has done. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be the same way, says. Michelle says, all it took was a brain, common sense, and great imagination, none of which Marlene possesses. Yeah. Jen says, hello. Hello, Jen. Thank you for joining us. Denise says, invite them to a murder and all they care about is making out. My favorite line, lol. Well, I was thinking, what would Jenna probably say in that moment? And yeah, so I'm glad you liked it. Love Forever says, whoa, Jenna got Lucas shook now. Yep, she did. Rena says, this is so creative, Francois. I love it. Thank you, Rena. Jin Cat says, I like this story. Thank you, Jin Cat. Michelle says, I have to get back to work, but I can't stop listening. Well, I will keep going soon, I promise. Tina says, wow. Thanks, Tina. Love Forever says, oh my good gosh, twist after twist being thrown by Francois and everyone who wrote alternate endings. None from Marlene. Yeah, exactly. Tina says, hey, good. Tina says, drunk mums. Yep. Says, I love this story. President A says, going now, we'll watch the rest tomorrow. No problems, President A. Amy Isaac says, great ending. Yeah, thank you. So definitely I wanted to get an answer out about the mums and who trapped them and who got them out. So yeah, Lucas trapped them and Jenna got them out because she felt bad for them. Okay, let's go back to the next part. All right, so back to present moment. One thing that has surprised me since that night, Jenna said, is the lack of contrition you ladies have. From what I heard your mothers say, they were so contrite over not being able to protect you, and yet none of you ever felt the need to apologize to me, to Lucas, to— Hey, Hannah yelled back. I apologized to Lucas many times. I'm sorry, Mona said, taking a stand both literally and figuratively. Is this an after dark revelation or a pep rally? Who said you all could speak out of turn? Mona, Jenna began warningly. No, Jenna, Mona snapped. I'm sick of these bitches. You'd think locking them up and revealing everything to them would have them so stunned they'd turn mute, and yet here they are talking over the top of us? Well, Jenna replied, if it happens again, I give you permission to shoot. And keep them as my dolls? Mona asked excitedly, almost as though she'd gone back to nerdy Mona at that moment. Yes, Jenna chuckled softly. And you can keep the interruptees as your dolls. I'm nearly done with them anyway. That doesn't sound good, Hannah whispered to the others, trying desperately hard not to move her lips. Okay, so, Minute Girl Maya, Lucas said, where are we up to? Maya, who hadn't said much at all the whole time they were there, picked up a clipboard and looked at it. Okay, we've dealt with Emily, Maya said. Naturally, Jenna agreed, smiling at the woman she loved. We've dealt with Aria, Maya went on. Finally, Jenna agreed, smiling evilly at the now known killer. And we just took care of Hanna, Maya said, crossing the names off as she went along. Caleb and Lucas looked at each other at that and then started making out. Ugh, Jenna reacted, get a room. So, Maya said, it's Spencer's turn. Oh, right, Jenna said, clapping her hands in delight. Spencer, wait till you hear the secret I've kept from you. Spencer desperately wanted to respond, but the idea of Mona keeping her as a doll was less appealing than anything else, including death. So she stood there, glaring at Jenna, waiting to see what else she didn't know. It had seemed like this entire year had been the year of unknown. So what was some more secrets coming out of the woodwork? What, did Jenna find out she took drugs? Oh, Spencer, Jenna sighed. I knew you'd be the one to deal with all of this best, and we could all see that you've coped better than anyone else. But there was a reason for that. There was a rat running around, biting through every cord we ever created. Rat, Lucas laughed. Good one, Jay. Who? Spencer asked. Toby? Toby? Jenna laughed. God, no. What the hell did Toby do? Oh, yeah, he joined the cops, but even then he sucked. All four on the AD team laughed. No, Spencer, Jenna said. There was someone else. Suddenly it hit Spencer who exactly Jenna was talking about, and she flashed back to something she had almost forgotten. She was standing on the pier talking to Melissa, and finally, she was getting some answers. Melissa, Spencer began, on the Halloween train, did you try to kill me? That was Wilden, Melissa replied. We had the same costume. Why would you help him? Spencer asked. I wasn't helping him, Melissa said. None of us were. We were afraid of him. Who's we? Spencer asked. The NAT club? This isn't about some stupid club, Melissa yelled. You could have warned us, Melissa, Spencer said, shocked that her sister never had before. You knew, and you did nothing. You don't understand, Melissa yelled, forcing Spencer backwards. You've never understood. I've been protecting you since it started, since before it started. So you sent Jenna and Shauna to burn down the lodge? Spencer asked. I didn't send them to hurt you. I sent them to watch you, Melissa advised. Melissa thought she was controlling us, Jenna said, referring to her and Shauna. But that's what we needed her to believe. She became valuable to us, getting information, and if not for her, we wouldn't have seen Alison that night. Jenna thought back to the moment outside of the lodge, watching on with Shauna. Oh my God, Jenna said. They're not leaving. Why aren't they leaving? Maybe they're trapped, Shauna said. But don't worry, Mona said Simone had a plan, right? They'll be fine. Just then, the pair saw someone in a black hoodie pulling some of the girls out of the lodge. Oh my God, Shauna said. Is that Simone? Oh my God, Jenna replied. Yeah, I know, Shauna agreed. She was never meant to rescue them. No, Shauna, Jenna cried. Look! There, dragging Hanna out of the lodge, was someone in a red coat. No way, Jenna exclaimed. Is that Alison? Jenna replied. She's alive. The liars by now were not only forced into silence thanks to Mona's threats, but they stood there like stunned statues owing to this new revelation. Jenna was there that night. Of course, this changed everything, not to mention it started the I Hate Ally Club, Jenna said. But one thing that always kept popping up was your damn sister. When we wanted to get Simone, Maya said, Melissa was there. When we wanted to trap you all in Simone's perfect dollhouse, Lucas said, Melissa was there. When we wanted to get Toby's sperm, Caleb agreed, Melissa was there. The girls gasped in shock, especially at Caleb's reveal. Melissa, 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 Jenna said, as though emphasizing the point. Spencer, Melissa was a huge part of the NAT club. Of course, I was only there for Garrett, but once I learned what they all knew... Anyway, so finally, as Caleb said, when we came up with the idea to use Emily's eggs and Toby's sperm to create a baby for myself and Maya... What? Emily said, not being able to help herself. Mona, now, Jenna said. Mona didn't need telling twice. She stood up and with perfect precision struck Hanna right in the chest with a dart gun. Hanna! All girls squealed. Silence! Caleb roared. Do you all want to die? The girls continued to fuss over Hanna, but not wanting to die, they did it as quietly as they could. So, Spencer, Jenna called out, want to know how the story ended? Spencer turned back to Jenna, not being able to help her curious nature. I asked Lucas, Mona, Maya, and Caleb to come up with an idea of how we could end all of this once and for all, Jenna said. I was always going to be AD, but I was getting sick and tired of Melissa thwarting our plans. After the blind school incident didn't pan out how I wanted it to, including Alex dragging me into a truck, we got back to base and discussed everything. God, she was so delusional. We kept telling her she was AD, and she bought it too, Lucas said, chuckling. Finally, we had to relent and come up with an easier option for the father, Caleb said, as by now, not only did Jenna and Maya want a kid, but so did Lucas and I, as we said. By now, Aria and Emily were just as attentive as Spencer. Well, the only way to do it, without Melissa knowing, Lucas began, was to use my sperm, said Caleb triumphantly. We knew it'd work out so well. Oh, who knew it'd work out so well? Once again, Lucas kissed his lover passionately. I always knew you'd have good swimmers, sweetie, he said, smiling. Once all that had been arranged, Jenna went on, thank God I knew Archer, I was beginning to get impatient. I wanted to end the game now. I was sick of waiting. Jenna went back, recalling the recent moment. She was sitting on her chair, having one of her not-so-good visionary days. Finishing off her tea, which admittedly was subpar, she thrust her hands out to Lucas. Thank you, she said dismissively. But her patience had waned so thin, and she could no longer hold it back. You said you'd tell me today, she began testily. About the game? The only reason she hadn't been told before was because the book had been taking a long time to get converted into Braille, even with holding a gun to the hired maker's head. Dropping the book into Jenna's lap, the random hired maker was taken away into the back room to be shot as Jenna read the book. The game is almost over, Jenna read with her fingers swiping over the bumps of the braille. But we need to get certain bitches out of the way. First up, Melissa. Jenna looked up from the book, pleased. It was about time they dealt with that bitch. Endgame, she whispered excitedly, a big smile spreading across her lips. The only unfortunate thing, Caleb admitted, was now that we wanted Melissa dead, she was nowhere to be found. It took a while, admittedly, Jenna agreed, but then we finally found her at the stables. You had no idea, Spencer, but you led us straight to her. Tears brimmed Spencer's eyes as she finally realized why the last memory she had of Melissa was the last one she'd ever have with her. They were at the stables grooming their horse. You know, I was thinking of staying in town for a while, Melissa said. Really? Spencer asked. That's great. I feel like we're just starting to get to know each other again. Me too, Melissa agreed, smiling. But I was hoping you'd consider swapping the barn for your old room. Spencer pulled a face. Fine, you win, she said, but just this once. I'm kidding. As Melissa walked away down the dirt path, Spencer became enamored with seeing someone at her truck. Meanwhile, the moment Melissa rounded the corner, her mouth was met with a black-gloved hand. She tried to call out. Don't scream, and we'll make things easy for you, Caleb whispered into her ear. Melissa, Jenna called out cheerily. My God, you are hard to find. How are you? Melissa tried again to talk. Oh, save your breath, sweetie, Jenna said sweetly. You won't be needing it for much longer. With that, Jenna pulled out a lethal injection and stabbed her into the stomach. Melissa's eyes rolled to the back of her head, and as Caleb finally let go, she fell to the ground, no longer making a noise. She was dead. She's gone, Spencer couldn't help but whimper. Why? 2 reasons, really, Jenna replied. 1, she was always in the way, and 2, I had to leave you with the least amount of family I could. All 3 liars gasped. You killed her mum and dad? Emily asked, shocked. Please, Jenna replied. Veronica showed compassion, so I'd never kill her. And Peter? Ha! He's the paternal parent half of Rosewood. Better to leave him to pollinate while I'm off tanning myself somewhere. Oh, but Mary's dead, Maya chimed in. You know, your real mother. No, she's not, Aria said suddenly. She just escaped jail this morning. Oh, they're underestimating you, Maya, Jenna said, smiling at the challenge. Suddenly, the lights went down, and Maya, picking up a remote, turned on the projector behind them. Once it had counted down from 4 to 1, they saw a horrific scene. There on the screen was Maya and Jenna. Yeah, Jenna was saying. I killed Melissa and Sarah. Caleb killed Yvonne. Mona killed Alex. And Aria killed Bethany, Maya laughed. And the girls are probably killing her right now, Jenna laughed. No, poor bitches, feel betrayed because Aria killed instead of going to Iceland. Wake up, bitch, Maya called out, banging on a cell. The camera, possibly handheld by someone, panned to show Mary trapped in the cell. Let me out of here, you bitch, Mary yelled. You're not AD, Alex is. Alex is dead, came the voice of Mona from behind the camera. Mary went white as a sheet. What? She demanded. You killed my daughter? Jenna, meanwhile, was handing Maya her gun. Maya took the gun and caressed it momentarily, enjoying the power of holding one of AD's possessions. Pulling back the trigger, Maya aimed for Mary through one of the conveniently placed holes in the cell. And now, I am going to kill you, Maya said. 2 bullets landed squarely into Mary, one in her head and one in her chest. There was no coming back from it. She, too, was now dead. What? So that was your endgame all along? Spencer cried out in anguish. Kill as many people as you can, like a duck hunter out in the forest? You took my sight from me, Jenna exploded. You never went to my funeral, Maya agreed. You guys used me and tossed me aside, Mona yelled. And don't even get me started on her me, Lucas agreed. It's okay, babe, Caleb said. Come here. Doing his best to calm his lover down, Caleb kissed Lucas once more. Aria and Spencer glared up at the four of them. How could they be so selfish, Spencer wondered. But it was Emily who broke the silence next, letting out a humongous scream. The girls turned to the final projector that hadn't been used. There on the screen was Alison, tied up by her hands and legs to a bed. Let me go, she screamed. Stupid bitches, I was on your team. Maya, Jenna said calmly, go deal with her. Moments later, the three conscious women saw Maya enter the room. Let me go, Ali repeated. Does Jenna know about all this? AD, Maya said, knows everything. Wheeling in an IV pole, Maya stuck a needle into Alison's arm. This is for Jenna, she said. You blinded her. For calling Lucas Hermie. For calling Mona Loser Mona. And for all the hell you put your little puppets through. You're a bad girl, Alison. But thank God you're not going to be around much longer. Maya walked out of the room. She'd seen enough death, and she definitely didn't need to see any more. Okay, Jenna said. Well, she's on the way back. Anything else anyone wants to add? Just one thing, Mona replied, disappearing momentarily and then returning with baby Maya in her hands. Caleb and Lucas? Here's your new child. No, Emily screamed. She's mine and Allie's. But no one in the dress circle was listening. They were all watching Lucas and Caleb fawn over their new baby. Thanks, Emily, he said, smiling with tears in his eyes. We'll be sure to thank Alison on our way out, Caleb agreed. As both men left the circle to begin their new lives, Jenna looked at Maya. We've overcome insurmountable odds, Jenna said, smiling through fresh tears. Yes, Maya agreed. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Both women shared a kiss and then stood up preparing to leave. But before they went, Jenna turned to Mona. Here you are, girl, she said. As promised, 4 little dolls to do whatever you want with them. Thanks, Jenna, Mona replied, smiling. So what now? Spencer asked, as Emily stayed focused on Alison, whose eyes were drooping closed. Well, Mona said, smiling triumphantly, I think for now I'm going to get some fresh air, and all of you can, have a little nap. Picking up the remote they'd all been using, Mona pressed another button, and instantly the smell of gas started filling the room. Good night, my pretty little liars, she went on. Tomorrow we'll have tea time, and then, after a while, we'll play 4 chimes game time. There has to be a way out, Spencer yelled, as, smiling her evil smile, Mona left the dress circle. Everyone look! All 3 girls went to different areas of the room. Aria went to look near the door, Spencer looked at the back, and Emily looked around underneath the dress circle. But to their horror, none of the girls could find a way out, and shortly after, they dropped off into a deep sleep. The game was over. Jenna was AD alongside Lucas, Caleb, Maya, and Mona, and every single one had gotten what they wanted, including Crazy Mona. Epilogue. Just as the smoke was at its thickest, Mona made her way to the door and opened it. Thank God she'd equipped herself with a gas mask. It would be a wonder if any of the girls even woke up. Purposefully walking into the room, Mona grabbed one of the liars and dragged them out. After all, no good came from keeping them together. Everyone knew that. God, Mona said through the gas mask. I am good. Closing the door behind her, Mona lifted up the liar she'd grabbed and walked away with her. Eventually, they ended up outside, and Mona took off her mask before laying the liar down on the patio. The liar was still breathing, which wasn't a shock considering Mona had planned it that way. She took off her own gas mask. The liar took off her own gas mask and looked at Mona with a smile on her face. So, how did we do? She asked. Jenna will assume all of you are 6 feet under, Maya smiled, helping the liar up. Doesn't she realize? Aria replied. 2 can only keep a secret if one of them is dead. Mona smiled at her favorite liar, her best friend and confidant from the beginning, and without being able to help herself, leaned in and gave her a loving kiss. The end. So that's the end of my alternate ending. It wasn't necessarily a happy ending for the liars, but I wanted to do something different. So I wanted to let you guys know why I didn't have a happy ending. I felt like Marlene and some other people might, feel compelled to give a happy ending. So I wanted to give a not so happy ending to make it different. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Alias says, love it. Susan Freya says, I just can't, and your message has been retracted. Angel says, yes, Peter Hastings, the man whore. Exactly. Rena says, lol, Peter, who was responsible for every creepy Radley back alley deal, baby and Rosewood, lol. Yeah, exactly. Amy says, you took my sight from me. Yep. Gin Cat says, so now this has a stereotypical ring to it, lol. Like the endings, everyone. Good job. Yay. Alias says, amazing. Thank you, Alias. Rena says, love it, Francois. Brilliant. Thank you, Rena. Tori says, loved every moment. Beautiful. That was my PLL finale 7 times 20. Oh, thank you, Tori. It wasn't the happiest of endings, but I'm glad you liked it. MC says, it was a happy ending for Mona and Aria. Yes, it was. And so that was why I was doing that running theme of Mona and Aria being side besties. So what I didn't write in there, but what I imagined happened was that Aria knew all along what was going to happen. And Mona had told her where a gas mask will be located prior to them going in the room. So when they all went to look for a way out, Aria went to that spot and put her gas mask on, and that's how she survived. Amy is applauding it. Yay! Thanks, Amy. So is love forever. Denise says, that was amazing. Thank you, Denise. Amy says, super. Thanks, Amy. Denise says, standing ovation. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys liked it. Wendy says, way more entertaining than Marlene's. Oh, thank you. Angel says, this is our ending, not that utter crap we got the other day. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it because I knew it was a risk making Caleb bad. I knew that. But I wanted to make Lucas gay, and I thought who would be the best person to make him gay with? It would be Caleb. And that's why earlier on in the story, I have Hanna say the line to Lucas when Lucas says he's gay. She says, as long as it's not Caleb, who cares? What did Emily say? And that's why I wanted to make it Caleb. So I'm sorry if I hurt a lot of you guys with that, but I'm glad I could answer some of the questions like the mums getting out of the basement and all that other stuff. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it. So thank you all. Thank you very much. Well, with the time we have left, which is not a lot of time, let's take this moment to look back on all of those great moments of Pretty Little Liars, all the moments that we loved, all the moments we'll remember, those that made us laugh, those that made us cry. What were your favorite moments of Pretty Little Liars? Let me know. Angel says, evil Caleb is a good twist. Always thought that as he plays super boyfriend. Yes, he does, doesn't he? Tori says, so that Charm Chat, any specific episodes to rewatch, anything we should brush up on? So with the Charm Chat, it's just going to be a general chat about Charmed, like what we liked about Charmed and our memories of Charmed. So not necessarily. I might go into doing a thing where once a week we watch a Charmed episode and talk about it, but for this one's coming up, it's just a general one. MC says, so in my head now, Mona and Aria are officially a couple. Yay! And she didn't marry Ezra, and Ezra didn't make an appearance in my book, but yeah, I ran out of time, and I probably would have honestly killed Ezra, so I'm glad I didn't bring him up in my book. And but Toby's absolutely fine, and if you guys want to imagine that Spencer got out of there and lived a happy life with Toby, that's totally fine. I don't know what would have ended up happening with Hanna. She probably would have had to go to Radley after what happened with Caleb, but it wasn't a thing on Hanna either. Like, I do want to say that. I love Hanna. I just really thought that Caleb would be great revenge. Where are we? Okay. Rena says, one of my favorite PLL moments is Mona's reveal as A, and that she's alive in the dollhouse. Yeah, I completely agree. I found the gum. Everything from that moment on is so, so, so good. And that she's alive in the dollhouse, yes. And playing Alison, that's something I don't understand. Why did Mona play Alison in the dollhouse? It's something that I didn't want to answer in my book because I didn't feel like I had a good answer on that. She played Alison for some reason, but was it that Charlotte told her to? And if so, why did we never get a flashback to that? MC says, once a week Charmed episode chat would be amazing. Yeah, I agree. So let me know if you want to have that happen once the video uploads, and we'll certainly do that. Denise said, Sparia had some awesome moments. Yes, they definitely did. We love Team Sparia. MC says, chat, not chat. Yeah, no, I got what you meant, MC. Angel says, yes, Team Sparia had great moments. They certainly did. Angel says, Caleb's shower scene. Oh my God, how great was that scene? I love, love, love that scene for so many reasons. If we're being honest about Pretty Little Lies on this last day, for so many reasons. Jin Cat says, Mona as a ghost favorite part. I did love that. I loved Janelle doing that. That was pretty cool. I agree. Wendy says, some of my favorite episodes were the Halloween and Christmas specials. Yeah, like I agree. I loved them as well. The Christmas one was very interesting. Was there more than one Christmas one? I remember one. I specifically remember the girls singing in a choir, quite randomly, and Aria handing out cookies. But was there another one? But yeah, I love that. And I love the Halloween ones, especially the Ghost Train. That was so well done. MC says, I was devastated when I thought Mona was dead. Oh my God, so was I. I was so down for the rest of that week, seriously. Susan says, I love the idea of watching an episode and then reviewing. Love Charmed. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a really good idea. It sounds very popular, so it's certainly something that I think we will do. Angel says, I liked the wine mums locked in the basement, but we never got the freaking explanation for how they got out. See, now you know. Jenna let them out. Right? Because that frustrated me too. So that's how I had to make up something for me because there's no way I could have lived not knowing that. Lived with not knowing that. MC says, I love how Caleb sees Hanna looking him up and down during the shower scene. Yeah, me too. I would have done the same, Hanna. I so would have done the same. Angels says, yes, Ghost Mona was amazing. Yes, she was. Rena says, yes, Caleb shower scene. Love that one. And also drunk Ren trying to woo Spencer. Yes, with the plant. Oh my God, I forgot about that. It was so good. The Hastings saying never to come without a gift or whatever. That was so funny. MC says, only one Christmas episode. Yeah, that's what I thought. Denise says, yes, Caleb's shower scene will go down as one of my favorites. Yes, such a good scene. And the Spencer making out with Toby in the finale, as much as I hated that they had filler stuff. I thought we were going to see a little bit more of Toby at one point. We didn't, but I really thought that's what they were going for. Where are we? Wendy says, I want to say there was only one. I loved Emily's Christmas sweater. Oh, me too. That's right. She was setting up all that stuff outside her house and the sweater and everything. Yes. Rena says, what shows do you plan on reviewing, Francois? So I definitely plan on doing like Charmed ones if you guys want to do that. But at the moment, I'm going to be doing Shadowhunters. Tomorrow night, I'm doing my live reaction to the latest episode. So I haven't seen it. Don't give me spoilers, but I'm going to react to it live tomorrow. And we're also going to be covering The Fosters. The Fosters comes back next week. So that's going to be hopefully as big as Pretty Little Liars was. Because it's a really good show. So I definitely will recommend, if you get into one show, get into The Fosters. MC says, I think the wine mums managed to call the fire brigade to get them out of the basement, but then trapped the hunky chunky fireman and made him straight for them before they left him. Let him leave. I love that MC. That's so good. It explains why they don't want to talk about it and how they drunk so much and all that. Angel says, drunk Ren, haha, yes, summon your father, yes. Summon your father. MC says, let him leave. That's yeah, no, I got what you meant, MC. Angel says, liking that explanation, MC. Yeah, me too. Rena says, laughing my ass off, Angels, I forgot that line. I'm laughing so hard. Summon your father, lol. If Peter would have really been there, true. Denise says, and of course, another of my favorite is, she can't keep us here forever. Of course she can. She's Mona. I know, that's going to be one of my favorite lines. That one, bitch can see, and if people think you're blind, you see what they don't think you can see, are my 3 favorite lines of all time from People Are Liars. So the fact that Marlene put that in right at the end, I applaud Marlene for that line. That was really well done. Says, can someone tell me who kidnapped Hanna, as I have asked Marlene, but she refuses to answer me. When did Hanna get kidnapped? Oh, that's right, when she was in the house thing. I mean, was it Alex? It's very confusing though, isn't it? Because Alex ended up being AD. See, that's the problem with Alex being AD. Had they made it someone else, it would have made more sense with stuff like Hanna. So it's a good one. If anyone knows, certainly give us an idea, but I assume Alex. I mean, I think Marlene's answer would have been everything you saw was Alex, and everything that doesn't make too much sense was a red herring. Susan says, can't wait for the picture collage. I'd like to pay on my Instagram if that's okay. What do you want to do on your Instagram? I'm a little confused, Susan. Rena says, I guess we are to believe it was Alex. I guess Alex was emoji, or was it Archer? I'm thinking it was Alex, but I don't know. MC says, I loved how usually only one parent was allowed to be in Rosewood at any one time. They were forever out of town. Yeah, I know. Right? Susan says, I really appreciate all the time you take to do these videos, Francois. It means so much. Thank you, Susan. I really do appreciate that. I love you guys being here as well. I really, really do. Angel says, one of my favorite lines, deja vu, bitch. A lot of lines with Mona are so good. But yes, I agree. That's a good one as well. Rena says, oh, guys, how about this crap? I seen Marlene say what Maya knew was that Nate was in town. Yes, are you the one that wrote that? Someone wrote that on my on a comment on one of my videos, that what Maya knew was that Nate was in town. Are you serious? Of all the things, oh my god, I think what was my reaction? I think I wrote something like, excuse me, what? Like, what the hell? It's just terrible. Angel says, Tarina, yes, that was infuriating. It's very infuriating. I mean, come up with something better, right? Like, Maya knew that Spencer had a twin. Would have been better than Maya knew Nate was in town. Like, please. I mean, you know, we could come up with something much better, couldn't we? It was me, Francois. Thank you, Rena. I appreciate that you gave it to me. I'm sure you saw my reaction. I wasn't too happy about it. Not that I wasn't happy with you. I love that you let me know, but I was very upset with Marlene, as I'm sure you saw. MC says, one thing with Alex being Alex Drake, surely as she was adopted at birth, she would have had her adopted parents' surname. I know they dropped her at an orphanage early on, but why Drake? That's a very good point. I mean, I guess maybe she tried to copy Cece and retook the name back. But yeah, it's a very good point, I must admit. Let me think if there are any other things that I can think of. I mean, Tippy the Bird is always going to go down as a classic for me. I mean, I know I keep bringing Tippy up, but I love Tippy. Seriously, I wish Tippy could have been A. Tippy would have been better than Alex. What else? Pretty much every scene with Mona was so good. God. I don't know. There were good things, but I'm just trying to think about them on the spot, really. Denise says, one thing that made me laugh was she can't hear us, she's blind. She's blind, not deaf, or something like that. Yes, that's right. I loved that. That was the girls talking about Jenna together. I think Hanna said that, said the first one. Yeah, I loved that. Susan Frere says MC because that was the birth mum's name. Yeah, so I think she took it back. Rena says, yes, that didn't make sense to me either, how Alex was given the name Drake. I thought that was weird. Yeah, so as I said, like, I think she did like Cece and just sort of took the name back. Denise says, once they abandoned her at the orphanage, the adoptive parents decided to take their name back, so the orphanage gave her her birth name. Oh, there you go. That makes more sense. Rena says, love the Grumworld. Oh my god, I love her. She was so freaky, but I loved her so much in Pretty Little Liars. In Ravenswood, she seemed to be someone that's really fitting, but in Pretty Little Liars, I loved her. Like, oh my god. I see a darkness surrounding you. So good. Jin says, what happened to the dog that they found in Ellie's mum's yard? Was that Pepe? I honestly don't know. Angel says, yes, classic Hanna line. Oh, please, Jenna can't hear us. She's blind. So true and so very Hanna. MC says, that was great, Angels. Angel says, I know. Oh, yeah, it was so good. Oh, God. Well, let me see if I can find some. Since, you know, we've got about 15 minutes till we need to be done, so just to refresh our memories, let's have a look, shall we? So the first quote that's coming up is Spencer saying, you know what they say about hope, it breeds eternal misery. I don't remember what that was related to, but that was a big one. It wasn't funny, though. So here's a line apparently that Caleb said. The rich girls steal, the pretty girls lie, the smart girls play dumb, and the dumb girls spend their days trying to be all of the above. Oh, there you go. Well, of course, the famous A line, I'm still here, bitches, and I know everything. A. Alison had a good line, once you know something, you can't unknow it. No, that wasn't Alison, that was Aria. Aria said that to Ezra. I'm still trying to work out what the heck she said to Ezra after all this time. Like, I thought she told Ezra she was AD. That's funny. Someone on Pinterest wrote, Season 1, who is A? Season 2, is he or she A? Season 3, who isn't A? Season 4, am I A? Season 5, F this shit, I'm so done. I love that. Let's go back and see what you guys have said. MC says, I loved Ashley hiding the money in the lasagna boxes. Yes, that was so great. Was it Mona that stole the money? I don't remember who it was, but I think it was Mona. Yeah, but that was a good moment, I agree. Angel says, remember when Toby approached that old psychiatrist who had dementia? Yes! And he told Toby that Marion should stay away from the blonde girl, something to do with the air around her being bad. Yes, I remember. The old guy at the nursing home. Yes. He was the doctor of Marion, yes, and he was telling all the stuff. And then at one stage, he sees, I think it's like Spencer or someone, and he thinks that she's Marion and tells them more or something. Yeah, never worked out who the blonde girl was. I guess that was a red herring, but that's a really good memory, Angels. Well done. Denise says, oh, yes, Mama Marin, how about when she was flirting with Ted and then her face when she finds out he's a pastor? Yes, was so good. And, of course, speaking of Mama Marin, Ashley, her moments with Jason, oh my god, so good. Angels said, who did he mean? Yeah, I have no idea who he meant, the psychiatrist guy. Yeah, very annoying. MC says, I can't help it, I still love That's Immortality's My Darlings, and I'm gutted she didn't say it. Yeah, so am I. I thought she was going to. It would have made a heck of a lot of sense if she did. you know, because it would have made sense they survived all these A's. So for her to then say, you know, we came out on top, ladies, that's immortality, my darlings, or something like that, would have been great. But the original line was really good too, how she says she wants to leave a young corpse and die young or whatever, and that's immortality, and what she said on the beach that day was really well done. Rena says also, whoa, going to miss all the sexy men on PLL. Okay, let's go through them. Noel, yes, absolutely going to miss Noel. Toby, definitely. Caleb, for sure. Mike, yes, absolutely. Kelly's boyfriend. I have to say that. That is so an in-joke to Kelly TV fans. Mike is Kelly's boyfriend. Ren, I can take it or leave it with Ren. Heck, even the male cops look like they should all be models, lol. Holbrook, Wilden, and Ian, not so much. They were creepy. Yes, true. Denise says, I think that was supposed to be Bethany. Oh, maybe. Wendy says, soon we will all have jubilation. Hannah, oh, that was so good. I was seeing that the other day. Oh, that's right. So YouTube have uploaded this, or the Pretty Little Lies YouTube page have uploaded what looks to be a special feature that's going to be coming out on the season 7 DVD. It was, you know how all these what do you call them, box sets, all this seasons have like special features. It looks like one of them was uploaded, and they go to that scene in this clip. They go to that scene with Hannah saying, where the line is, yeah, soon we will all have jubilation. Unfortunately, they cut it off because someone's talking when Spencer responds and says, that is a very good use of that word, Hannah. And I love that. That whole scene is just so beautifully done. Angels of Erised says, oh, right, okay, thanks. Excellent, glad we helped you. Rena says, also follow me, end up like me. Classic line. Classic line. I was going to use that in the book and I totally forgot. There you go. Who created the doll? Was it Cece? Did Cece make that happen? Oh my god. Denise says to MC, yes, I really wanted Ali to say in the finale. Yes, me too. Angel says to Wendy, lol, yes, that was another great Hannah line. Yes, it was. MC says, one of my favorite Aria lines was, I can't marry Ezra. I just wish she'd stuck to it. Yeah, me too. That's why I had to put Aria, well, that's why I had to have Aria question it in my finale. And, you know, have her say that Ezra, when he says the vows to her, is going to tell her that he's AD. Because I did not want to do an Ezra wedding at all. Yeah. So glad it wasn't just me. Love Forever says, what did Aria whisper to Mona to make her cry? Is something I still can't figure out. That is a very good point. At the theatre, when that cinema with Mike and Byron, I still don't know what it is. But Janelle was interviewed about that. I think it was like on ET Live or something, and they said, what did she whisper to you? And Janelle said, what did Lucy whisper to me? Well, I'll tell you the truth. Lucy whispered, so she didn't give the answer. She was saying, this is what the actress did. And it really annoyed me because I still want to know what the heck she said. Brittany's here. Hey, Brittany, thank you for being here. MC says, that freaked me out. That freaked me out at first too, Rena. So that, yeah, follow me, end up like me. Oh my god, is it here somewhere? We can't end Pretty Little Lies without that line. Come on. Is this it? I think it is. What? Oh, I can't hear it. Sorry, guys. No. Oh, well, it was just saying it there. Give me a moment. It's just funny. Okay, I'm done. She said it enough times. Okay. Angel says, hey, Brittany. MC says, hi, Brittany. Brittany says, hey. Alias says, hi. Everyone's saying hi to Brittany. We love you, Brittany. How did you go with your exams? Have they finished yet? Rena says, lol, I have like 4 posts over the years on my Facebook timeline that angrily say, who the heck is A? I love that. I'm sure I have quite a few myself. Megan says, back again, guys. Someone please fill me in. What are we filling you in on, Megan? Brittany says, can't stay as I have work, but so sad this is the last PLL chat. I don't know where I will go on YouTube now, but after all the years of theorizing and analyzing, we finally know who AD is. Very true, Brittany. I hope you continue to stay with us here at comment below and let me know. We're not going anywhere. MC says, Peter Hastings is a very attractive man, so no wonder that half of Rose would look like they could be models, considering he fathered most of them. Yeah, good point. Well done, MC. Amy says, I loved when Aria says, I'm ready to hang a sign. Bitch can see. And I love that. Don't look at me. I'm ready to hang a sign. Bitch can see. Okay, we have to do bitch can see. Come on. It's our last PLO chat. I have to do these things. Oh, this is it right away.
Stop. Why? Don't look at me. I'm ready to hang a sign. Bitch can see. Guys, don't look at me. I'm ready to hang a sign. Bitch can see.
So good. Such a great line. Angel says, in that creepy doll shop, the creepy little boy Seth baby said a man and a woman came in and both had dark hair. Who were they meant to be? He said the woman can see too, so not Jenna. Yeah, I don't know. It's still unanswered. Rena says to MC, lol, oh my god, yes, Peter is good looking. Maybe he made all the sexy Rosewood men. Certainly did a good job with Jason. I forgot Jason. He is definitely one to miss. Yes. A lot of love for Drew Van Acker. Miss him quite a lot. What's he doing now, guys? If anyone knows, let me know. Got a lot of comments to get through now. One sec. MC says, Miss Aria, you're a killer, not Ezra's wife. Where were we? Yes, exactly. Miss Aria, you're a killer, not Ezra's wife. She was talking about Bethany, guys, okay? When Aria killed Bethany. Rena says, anyone excited for Stranger Things 2? I still haven't seen Stranger Things 1, but if I like it, then yes. I am thinking of doing some live reaction videos to some of the shows you guys recommended for me. So, for example, the first time I watched Stranger Things, I'm thinking of doing a live reaction. You guys have seen it, and you can watch me watch it, but we'll see how we go. Wendy says, yes, loved Stranger Things. Angels says, what? Where were we? Maya's away sleeping. That's right. Maya's away sleeping. Swim till Garrett's or Rosie. Count on me. Liked. Yes, that's a good one. Liked Radley Mona and her coded ramblings. Yes, loved Radley Mona. I mean, she could be herself in Radley, so that was awesome. Denise says, what about the Jason and Aria scene? Well, really, any scene where Jason is shirtless, thumbs up. Yes, I think that's a big part of why I loved the Jari scene. I mean, and bringing her, well, in my mind, it was a cup of coffee. I don't know what it was, but like, seriously, if he came into my room like that with a towel and a cup of coffee, be very happy, I tell you. MC says, me too, Angels. Awesome. Rena says, me too, I loved it. Binge watched Stranger Things and I was hooked. Hey. And Landon says, I love your red, white, and blue. Thank you so much. I'm certainly wearing it for 4th of July, so I'm glad you noticed. Thank you. Shout out to all my Americans. I wish I could be there with you guys to celebrate. I was saying to, my friend Nathan, I was saying to him earlier tonight, I said, oh, I wish we could, let off fireworks tonight to celebrate 4th of July, like I know they'll do in America in a few hours. You guys enjoy the fireworks for me, okay? And, have all the traditional American stuff and enjoy them for me. Angel says Jason is super hot. Yes, he is. Landon says, oh, and I'm here and I made it. Can't wait to listen after the live chat ends. I'm so glad you made it, Landon. Thank you for being here. I finished off my book and there was another alternative ending by Alias, so you can definitely go back and watch them because we'll be finishing up very, very soon. It's 1 o'clock now. Amy says Drew Van Acker will be in a movie next year called Love Thy Keepers, will act as James. Oh, thank you, Amy. We'll definitely have to go and watch that. MC says, who's your favorite Pretty Little Man? Gosh, it's tough. Personality, I would have to say Lucas. Looks-wise, it's a toss-up between Caleb and Jason. Definitely. Wait, no, I take that back. Caleb, Jason, and Noel. So tough to pick. But I do like Noel as well. Rena says Jason is super hot. Lol, his shirtless basketball scene was rewind worthy. Definitely, yes, I agree. I mean, who cares that he's telling Aria he likes the pink stripe she used to have in her hair? We're not focusing on what you're saying, Jason. Wendy says, oh, haha, happy 4th, Francois. Does Australia have any similar holidays? We have Australia Day, but I mean, I'm not that patriotic, you guys. I'm really not. Like, yeah, I don't celebrate much Australian stuff. Like, I'll celebrate Halloween, but it's American. That's what they say in Australia. A lot of people say Halloween is American, but I celebrate it. A week before Christmas, I celebrate Thanksgiving, but no one else I know does, because it's an American thing, but I don't celebrate Australia Day. I should celebrate all the days in America, like President's Day and all the other days. What other days am I missing that are American days? Let me know. Where are we? Yeah, so no, we don't have anything that's, like crazy awesome like 4th of July. No. I definitely can say we don't. Rena says, MC, mine is a tie between Jason and Ren. I don't know why, I just love Ren. Oh, good on you, Rena. MC says, Australia has Australia Day on January 26th, which is my birthday too. That is awesome, MC. Yes, we have Australia Day, but because I'm unpatriotic, I really don't care. And quite frankly, I'm watching tennis during Australia Day. So if I'm not working at the tennis courts, I'm watching tennis to celebrate. That's my way of celebrating watching Australian Open. Denise says, favorite Pretty Little Man. Really hard decision, but it's between Caleb and Jason. There you go. Rena says, yes, Noel too. Lol, absolutely. Angel says, Noel is super hot. Plus, I thought he was a great villain. I completely agree. He played that role really well. Denise says, I can dye my hair pink too, Jason. Nicely done. Very nicely done. I can dye my hair blonde, Caleb. MC says, I agree with Lucas for personality, love a nerd. Yeah, totally. Lucas is so awesome. I love his personality. He's such a sweetie. Denise says, yes, Noel is super sexy and being a villain just made him better. I agree. Did Noel ever have a shirtless scene? I don't think he did, which would have been such a shame. But if he did, remind me where. I'll go back and watch it. Angel says, actually, his sexiness aside, Drew got the creepy, lingering Jason stare down to a T. I thought he was a great Jason. Yes, I completely agree. He was definitely great at playing Jason. And you know what? Even though we're all focusing on the mystery of was it Cece with Melissa, Drew Van Acker playing that scene when he's so high he can't tell who's there, he did that really, really well. Like, it was very convincing that he was high. So I got to give him that. Has anyone seen Harold and Kumar go White Castle? And then did anyone hear that the guy that plays Kumar ended up helping Barack Obama? I couldn't put that in my head. I'm going, Kumar is in the White House helping Barack Obama what? I couldn't make sense of that. So he's a great actor too. I mean, so many people that So many people play high, but there are only a limited amount of people that can play high quite well. MC says lol to Denise. Rena says, Francois curious, if you live near the beach, are sharks a huge concern there? Wondering because picking a place for a cruise. Not where I am. No. I mean, people swim all the time at the beach. There's no real concern there, no. But I'm in Melbourne, so I can't talk about Sydney beaches or Queensland or anywhere else. I can only talk about Melbourne. But yeah, so definitely come to Melbourne, Rena. If you come to Melbourne, let me know. I'll come meet up with you. Alias says, I love the thought of Aria and Mona being a couple. Oh, thank you, Alias. I appreciate it. Alias, if you could write Moment of Silence, I would really appreciate it. MC says, me too, Alias. I would so ship it. Yeah, totally. Amy says, don't hate me, but I loved Ezra, my favorite couple, actually. No, we don't hate you at all, Amy. We call you a plum. The reason we do that is because my mum always likened the fruit, the plum, to being an individual. So it's a compliment. So, Amy, you're a definite plum, and I love you for it. Wendy says, although I was a fan of something. Give me a moment, Wendy, because I've lost you. Well, where are you, Wendy? Although I was a fan of Caleb, part of me wishes Hanna would have given Lucas a chance. Yes, completely agree. Me too. Rena says, so true about Lucas. I wanted him to get some happiness so bad. He deserves someone, dang it. Lucas broke my heart so many times. Yes, well, see, that's why Hanna didn't give him a chance. He deserves someone, so he ended up with Caleb. I'm breaking all of your hearts. I can see it. I'm so sorry. I'll move on. Denise says, yes, Mona and Aria was a twist I didn't expect, but loved it. I'm so glad you did. I'm going to put my alternate ending up on fanfic, or fanfiction rather, .net. Fanfic is what we call it, but the website is fanfiction.net. I'm going to put my book up there as soon as I get a chance. Landon says, I think I can speak for all of us when I say that I'm so happy we all found your channel as a result of PLL. You're so close to 300 subscribers. Thank you, Landon. That's so sweet. Aww. Yeah, I know I'm so close to 300. I'm so happy. Like, if you watch my very early videos, I keep saying, well, my target is to get 20. So if I can get 20, that'd be really great. And now I'm close to 300, which is so awesome. So thank you, Landon. That's so sweet. Denise says to Amy, no hate from me. I'm an Ezra shipper as well. Awesome. MC says, agreed, Landon. Thank you, MC. Kim says to Rena, I went cageless shark diving in the middle of the ocean. They're harmless. Oh, lucky you, Kim. Yum. MC says, oh, wow, Kim, that's amazing. Yeah, that is awesome. Speaking of sharks and all that stuff, I do follow Survivor. I don't know if anyone else on my channel really does, so I probably won't do reviews on it. But if you guys want me to review Survivor, let me know. If no one does, that's totally fine. Cheese stands alone. I'll just watch it on my own. But if you want me to review it, I will. Amy says, yay to Denise. Yay, you both ship Ezra. That's awesome. Kim says, no one write Moment of Silence. I don't want this to end. Aw, Kim, that's so sweet. Alias says, thou shalt remember thy moment of silence. Absolutely, I will. Kim says, yes, MC, most beautiful sight I've ever seen, one ocean driving. Cool. Rena says, Kim Yim, I just have a huge fear and fascination with sharks. It's a love-hate relationship. I must say, I have always had a fascination. Since the film Free Willy, I wanted my own orca whale. And I used to say to my mom, I'd be like, Mom, can we like build a pool in the backyard and get our own orca whale? And of course it never happened. But like, you know, they're killer whales. So in a way I should be scared of them. But in another way, I really don't want to have one. And I love everything about them and stuff like that. I love a lot of animals that aren't so common, like the killer whale, for example. Or, well, the orca whale. I don't call it killer whale. I call it killer whale. MC says, France tries to get some sleep, Kim Yim. It's 1 a.m. in Melbourne. It is 1 a.m. Thank you, MC. You're always looking out for me, MC. Thank you so much. She's definitely one of my sisters. I have a lot of love for you, MC. Maria Ann says, my internet cut out for like an hour. We'll have to watch back. No problems, Maria Ann. I know you watch back and that you'll comment. But thank you so much for letting us know. MC says, I would have loved Hanna to realize that Lucas was the guy for her. It would have been great to see the underdog win for a change. Yes, true. Denise says, Tuesdays will always be PLL Tuesdays in my heart. Yeah, same here for me. Like Wednesday, obviously, for me. Now it's going to be Foster's Wednesday or Foster's Tuesday for you guys. But yeah, I know. It's always going to be like that for me too. Like, we're not going to have those moments anymore of going, oh, we have to solve this mystery. Oh, we have to solve that mystery. Then again, there are mysteries that were never solved. So we can still try and solve them if we want. Angel says, I might do a season 1 rewatch tonight with wine, of course. Oh, good idea, Angels. MC says, the love goes both ways, Francois. Oh, mwah, big hugs. Yes, big hugs to my beautiful MC sis. All right, guys. I'm going to say my goodbye now. Oh, my word. What can I say? Like, Pretty Little Liars brought us together. It gave us such a great show, and I absolutely loved it. And it's sad to say goodbye to it. This thing has been bragging up the entire chat. Seriously. There we go. Happy 4th of July. Yes, Pretty Little Liars has been such a great show to watch. It's been emotional at times. It has been hair ripping out stuff at times, like so frustrating that you're just like, Marlene. But at other times it was just beautiful. At other times it was funny. The mystery was amazing. I've never seen a better mystery show, despite the fact that they didn't answer all the questions. I love that at the end of every episode, we are trying to answer questions ourselves. And the PLL fan base was so massive that everyone in the PLL fan base was trying to answer all these questions. And we got all these great theories on YouTube and stuff like that. And it was just so awesome. And so we have to thank Marlene King, all the writers, everyone that was involved in PLL. Thank you so much. And also from the bottom of my heart, thank you for bringing, all of us together. Some of us probably wouldn't be here without Pretty Little Liars, so I definitely appreciate that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you for being a part of. Comment below and let me know. If you guys do leave and don't come back after Pretty Little Liars, I understand. Like, some of you were only here for PLL, and that's absolutely fine. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the journey that we've all had together, and just I have a lot of love for you guys. For those of you who are sticking around, my OG comment below and let me know family, I love you guys to death. Thank you so much for telling me that you'll stick around. Tomorrow we're going to do a live reaction, or I'm going to do a live reaction video for Shadowhunters, so I hope you can come back for that. It'll be great to even just chat to you guys during my live reaction video. And if not tomorrow, then Thursday we have our charm chat. So, I look forward to seeing you all. I hope you all come back for that one as well. And on Friday, we are going to be doing our LGBTIQ chat. I hope you guys can come back for that as well. So do not mistake it. Pretty Little Liars may be over, and that is really sad. And I don't want to go away from how sad I am with that, because I really am sad. But I do need to make the distinction that comment below and let me know is not over. We are saying goodbye to Pretty Little Liars, but we are still, the channel will still remain. I'm not going anywhere, you guys. And for those of you who have said you're not going anywhere, I thank you all very, very much. For today's moment of silence, I want us to think about everything that PLL has given us. It's taught us many great lessons, one of them being that if you receive a text message from someone that you don't know, call the cops. Also it's it dealt with a lot of great issues, such as, the whole gay thing, which is really good, the transgender thing. Despite the fact that we didn't like the reveal of Cece, or well, some of us didn't like the reveal, they actually put that issue out there. And they dealt with a lot of issues in the show, so I definitely appreciate that. But I also want to think about what it gave us, and that is a kick-ass fandom that I just don't know if it will ever be beat. Pretty Little Liars is the best fandom ever, and so thank you to those of you from the PLL fandom that have come to my channel and joined me for all these chats. I really appreciate it. So Our moment of silence before I cry starts now. Thank you all very, very much. That was our final PLL moment of silence. If you guys want to do moments of silence in our other chats, that's totally fine. I'm more than willing to do it. As I say, it's our connection. It's our way of holding hands all around the world. And I love you guys. It is one thing for me to have the amount of subscribers that I have, which has blown me away. But it's another thing to have people from all different parts of the world. Like I'm so amazed each and every day by people telling me, you know, I'm from the UK, I'm from this state in America, I'm from that state in America, I'm from, you know, Italy, I'm from the Netherlands, I'm from Africa, and it's just like, oh my God, seriously, you're all here. Comment below and let me know, and that's just amazing. And aside from that, we are, I hate to toot our own horn here, but we are the most loving family out there. We do not condone bullying or harassment of any kind, and yet at the same time our hearts are always open to one another, and it's just such a beautiful and loving community. And I want to say thank you to all of you guys for making that happen, because you know, I could have ended up with people that weren't loving, and it would have been a totally different experience for me. But I think if I believe in anything above all else, I do believe in love. It sounds corny, but I do. I believe in love, and I feel you guys spreading the love all the time, and I absolutely appreciate that. I don't want to go, but I have to. It's a tug of war right now. So once again, thank you to all of you. You guys are all amazing. I'll read a couple more comments and then I will definitely have to go. So let's just quickly see what you guys are saying. Denise says, yes, we'll definitely join you in future chats. Can't wait for the Fosters to come back. Love that show. I'm so glad, Denise. I can't wait for you to come back for our reviews and live chats on the Fosters. I'm so excited to get back into that show, especially after how the finale ended. Hey, little bro, you made it to our last PLO chat right before we finished. So thank you. Thank you, little bro, for being here. Thank you to Chase and to Alias for being my moderators. If you guys want to continue to moderate chats for me, I would absolutely love that. But I'll leave that completely up to you, but thank you to both of you. Landon says to Angels, when you play Close Attention in 109, supposedly Veronica talks about Spencer's birth, proving they haven't had that storyline from the beginning. Go. Angel says hey to Chase and says that they'll check that out. Denise says hi to Chase. See, here's the love. Chase says, yes, bestie, and I told you, bestie, I found you on Facebook. Yay. Rena says, yes, love you, Francois. Look forward to every chat and truly enjoy you and your personality. You are wonderful, truly. So sad PLL is over and ended so crappy, but so happy for this group. Love, love, love. Thank you, Rena. I feel the love. You guys are amazing. But thank you, Rena. I absolutely appreciate it, and I hope that you can keep coming back to every chat. That will be really awesome. Chase says, I'll stay. Thank you, little bro. I appreciate it. MC says, absolutely, we owe PLL so much. It's given us this family. It has, MC. It really has, and I appreciate that. Angel says, so happy for this group too. The only way to make that crap finale acceptable. Much love. Much love to you, Angels. Mwah. Thank you. MC says, being here from the start and not going anywhere. Thank you, sis. I so appreciate it. My beautiful MC sis. Thank you. Angels says, I'm sticking around too. Thank you, Angels. Thanks, you guys. I know a lot of you are sticking around, and it's overwhelming that you're sticking around after PLL, because you know that was my fear. I'm going to have to end this soon before I start crying, because I'm so overwhelmed by the love. Like, I really am. Thank you. Kim is saying, yay, thank you, Kim, we love you. Chase says, happy 4th of July, all. Saucy Bri says, hi, sorry I'm late. That's no problem, Saucy Bri, but we are finishing. I hope you can join us with our other chats as well. Rena says, happy 4th, Chase. Chase says, thank you. MC says, I'm proud of how loving and accepting we are, as we should be. I agree, MC. And Angel says, happy 4th of July, people. Happy 4th of July to all of you. Kim Yim says, agreed. Chase says, PLL made us come, but you, big bro, made us stay. Aww. Lil Bro, thank you so much. That's so nice. You guys. Alice says, very true, bestie. Aw. MC says, go have some downtime before bed and hydrate. I will, MC. Thank you, MC says, for looking out for me. I just want to say thank you. I want to say to everyone, like, enjoy your 4th of July, Americans. I have plans to, like, say the Pledge of Allegiance and to sing the national anthem while I was here on the chat, but I don't think it's a good idea, so I won't do that. My cousin said to me once, because my cousin's been to America, and I wonder if you guys agree. She said, I went to New York and all this. And I said, oh, I can't wait to go to America. It's going to be so great. And I want to go to America and sing the anthem. She said, whatever you do, don't sing the anthem when you go to America. But why? I mean, would you guys be disappointed if I sung the anthem if I came there? I don't know. Saucy Bright says, yes, I'll be here for other chats too. Thank you, Saucy Bright. Denise says, and do not forget. Yes, we're definitely going to be saying that in a moment. Saucy Bright says, chats. Yep, I got that. And Angel says, that's immortality, my darlings. Oh, that is immortality, isn't it, Angels? Thank you guys so very, very much for everything. And once again, enjoy your 4th of July. Red, white, blue. My heart is with you, but my heart is with all of you. Comment below and let me know, as I always say. Oh no, we're really coming to the end of Pretty Little Liars. Okay, really have to go. Francois T has to go now. Okay, no crying. We don't have time for that. We can cry once the video's over. Okay, just a little bit of mental talk there, guys. Okay. And do not forget, 2 can keep a secret if one of them is A. 2 can keep a secret if one of them is uber A. 2 can keep a secret if one of them is emoji. And 2 can most definitely keep a secret if one of them is a D. And we all can keep a secret if we are all together. Comment below and let me know. Francois T out. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Bye.